Welcome back.
Welcome! It is September 16th, if my memory serves me. Indeed.
Excellent.
And today's entry is called Anyone Can Get Lucky, Not Everyone Can Persevere. It begins with a quote by Seneca, unless you wanted to stop at the title.
No, that's great.
Okay. Seneca says, "Success comes to the lowly and to the poorly talented, but the special characteristic of a great person is to triumph over the disasters and panics of human life." Okay. So when he says success comes to the lowly and to the poorly talented, he's talking about the luck part of things. But the special characteristic of a great person is to triumph over the disasters and panics of human life, and that is the perseverance.
So everyone will ultimately be lucky at some point, but you don't get to stay lucky because it's like a comes and goes, right? It's not like it's on, right? And so when it's not on, the luck, or after you get lucky, most people don't know what to do with it, and so they kind of revert maybe back or something,
Yeah.
They don't know how to hold or shift to now some sort of a different thing that's not luck.
Right, because after the luck happens, there will still be a new disaster and a new panic.
That luck will run out. Or if it's on, then it will run out. Like that's the disaster.
If you don't have the perseverance to say, okay,
I'm okay with
here's
this
how
luck.
I'm going to handle when the hardship comes.
Like, thank you for the luck, I appreciate it, and then also I guess thank you for the hardship, right? It's like, but they're kind of the same, even though they do feel like they're opposites a little bit. Like when you're lucky, you're so excited and happy and you want to jump around and dance, right? And when something doesn't work out, you're sad and you're not jumping around. It's so they seem like they're opposites, but I bet that they're like the same thing, because they both do, what's same about both of them is they pull us out from the calm place, right?
Good luck and bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's also pointing at the same force. It's
so
like
ultimately, like maybe like the strategy is like don't let yourself be pulled so much by them. They will pull, right? They will pull me if I want or don't want. But maybe like having like some sort of an internal conversation with myself, saying like, oh, hold on, this is pulling too hard to one direction or something, And if that's happening, isn't it gonna pull in the other direction at some point, right? Like, and so I'm kind of like trying to not get dragged into all of this excitement and all of this sadness, trying to more, stay in this baseline. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're saying that's a strategy for what he's talking about of triumphing over the disasters and panics of human life?
Yeah, that's like a maybe strategy or like a tool or something, or like a being aware of when it's happening, when both are happening, and then I feel like once you notice it, that there could be like automatic reaction to it, like, oh wow, like I'm so fortunate right now with this thing. Okay, I need to not just celebrate, but I also need to think critically about what's next,
Sure. And the part that he's calling out is like not necessarily managing the positive side of luck. He's talking about like the skill of managing the disaster part of luck, because there's so much in that's like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this situation. I don't know how to handle this loss or these uncomfortable conversations that I'm gonna need to have, or process what just happened psychologically. So like, I feel like that's what he's really like.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's easy to focus on the bad because, like, hey, go fix the bad, go fix the bad. The good, don't worry about it. Celebrate, live your life, right? But like, I see it that they both are trying to pull you from this balance to an unbalanced place, right? So that's why I'm kind of like, hey, I definitely know about the bad ones, of course. That's where I'm mostly focused on. I actually thinking that I'm not focused on the happy ones, and they kind of or the exciting ones, right? And they kind of I feel like I stop thinking when I'm excited, and maybe I also stop thinking when I'm sad and stressed out. I'm also can make good decisions.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it definitely has like a transferable skill in the same way that like if you have problems doing hip flexion, the best way to regain your hip flexion is not by doing hip flexion over and over again. It's actually to work more hip extension. When you work the hip extension, now you have more hip flexion available to you. So I do see there to be some merit in like when you work the opposite of something, the skill transfers into that other domain.
Into the other domain, yeah. And it's easier to notice it when I'm excited because I'm open to many things when I'm excited because these exciting things just happen. So I'm like, wow, this is great. What else is great, right? I'm open to, and then I go, oh, hold on, right? But it's easy to catch that. It's how much harder to catch it on the bad stuff because you're like so consumed with the bad because you want to just fix it. Versus like this more of a, this got away from me. That's in this, I got too dragged into the down. I cannot do this. I cannot finish it. No. I can't. I just have to bring it out from this far stretched place of sadness or depression or anxiety or whatever the thing is there. The not so good things. Yeah. I like your like hip flexion, and that's cool. Like that how working on the opposite gives you benefit to the opposite. Yeah. So like it's interesting that we see it in different same mechanism in different places. Yeah. Cool.
You want to read Ryan?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Perhaps you know people who've been extraordinarily lucky in life. Maybe they hit the genetic lottery, or have skated through classes and careers with ease. Despite never planning, making reckless decisions, jumping from one thing to the next, they've somehow survived without a scratch. There's a saying, God favors fools. It's natural to be a bit envious of these folks. We want the easy life too, or so we think. But is the easy life really that admirable? Anyone can get lucky. There's no skill in being oblivious, and no one would consider that greatness. On the other hand, the person who perseveres through difficulties, who keeps going when others quit, who makes it to their destination through hard work and honesty, that's admirable, because their survival was the result of fortitude and resilience, not birthright or circumstance. A person who overcame not just the external obstacles to success, but mastered themselves and their emotions along the way, that's much more impressive. The person who has been dealt a harder hand, understood it, but still triumphed, that's greatness. Yeah, the flavor that he's really putting on this is the perseverance. It's like keep going through difficulties. Learning how to not let those difficulties define your limits in your life and what you think is possible for yourself, but using them as a conduit to a greater life. Like using those difficulties
Yeah. I go through difficulty and then I try to remember all the stuff and try to, oh, next time when I'm gonna go through it, I'm gonna try to, and bam, new difficulty. It's in a similar kind of.
Well, yeah, because there will always be difficulties. So it's like if the goal.
Like I wanna I have a stupid goal to try to figure out how to not have difficulties.
Right. That's like not. That's a goal that's not aligned with reality.
It's so frustrating because like I hate difficulties. Such is life, right? Such as everyone. Of course, everyone. Nobody likes difficulties except some sicko. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, and I don't know if you ever get to the point where you like them, but I think you get to the point where they don't freak you out as much and you have better instincts around them.
They freak me out currently. Yeah, they freak me out.
Because you don't have instincts around them. If you had instincts around them where you're like, I can feel where I'm supposed to play in this difficulty. And I also understand that I'm not going to do it perfectly because that's how reality is. So I'm not expecting that of myself and I'm not punishing myself and abusing myself when I inevitably mess this up. Then all of a sudden it's like the difficulties are hard enough without me creating a worse mental atmosphere on top of it.
So difficult to communicate, man. I think that's so hard. Like effectively, and so you understood, and others are being understood, and everyone gets to voice their opinion, and everyone's listened to, and now we come to some decision together. Like that is almost like a mission impossible, man. In these groups, like some of these groups are just so. There's so many different characters there that majority of them, everyone in the group gets along with majority of the people, right? But there are some people in those groups that you just, like, I don't know how to get over those bumps, right? Like I would work with difficult people and they might think that I am the difficult one, right? For them, I am the difficult one, right? And so we are difficult to each other and then we never figure it out and we ultimately somebody quits or somebody shifts someplace, but it's never really figured out. It's only avoided or minimized or bypassed or, and then resigned, a resignation to solve that, right? And it's like I have all of the people who didn't set well in my eyes with me in these groups, like maybe I resolved something with somebody, I'm sure I have, right? Or at least I tried. But there's a lot of them that it's just like, yeah, no, that's how it is. And it's like, it's hard to get on that same page, because they have to get on some page and you have to get on some page. And then even if you get to completely on their page, I'm lost on that page, right? So it's like it's hard for me to exist there, I would like to have that skill. That would be a good skill to have, to be able to just like, I'm not saying not get peeved by anything. No, piss me off as much as you want. But it would be good to be able to like have some sort of a forward movement from it, so it doesn't continue to repeat, and especially with those same people. Yeah. Anyway. Done?
Let's do it.
That's great.
Okie dokie. Thanks for tuning in today, my friend. We'll see you here tomorrow.
Bye.